Good afternoon, ladies and gentlemen, and welcome to another exciting Propagandacast with me, your host, Imperial Dana, and today I have for you a 2 vs 2 on Pointe du Hoc. Yes, indeed, it shall be the map Pointe du Hoc, sort of imagined after that sort of fight right there. Of course, it won't really do that since we're having a bit of a 2 vs 2, of course, with right here we are seeing Americans under my Newaccount, really a creative name, that's really something, and Kittymew as the British, and yes, there aren't really Brits at Pointe du Hoc, so why not imagine this is, I don't know, somewhere around the Scheldt when they were trying to take those areas to secure up some railways out of Antwerp, I believe, no, some shipping lanes, my apologies. And opposing them shall be Latrodectus, unloaded off the kampfgruppe Latrodectus, quickly maneuvered into the fighting, reinforced with an infantry unit under the command of, well, that's really a nice and lovely name, Fbrits and allies, fighting for the Wehrmacht, fighting off an infantry battalion attached to the remaining panzer grenadiers of the kampfgruppe Latrodectus, yes indeed, which had somehow been moved over to that island, but yeah, again, it is not about fully historical accuracy, but sort of imagining, you know, things. So right here, kampfgruppe Latrodectus quickly mounting a counter-attack to quickly push off the allies from that island, as they're trying to make a move in with the Canadian 1st Infantry Division being supported by some Americans somehow. Yes, sounds alright. Let's get in fact right down to this. It's going to be a pretty interesting cast, a pretty exciting one I hope, and certainly with some good lessons and some pretty damn good action. Hi mate, that's certainly a bit of a nice start. Although again, not the best of names. Panzer Grenadiers on the way, dual start there. Wehrmacht quarters here. Barracks up from the Americans, so we're probably going to see a much more aggressive approach from the Allies. No weapons support center nonsense there. Reconnaissance section on the move. Over the hills. Well, at least over the ridge. Slightly far away. And there we go, using dual pioneers to quickly finish up that Wehrmacht quarters, and then immediately on the move. Panzer Grenadiers already, Gewehr 43. The Gewehr 43, the second of the German semi-automatic rifles. There was also the Gewehr 41. The trouble was that was sort of rubbish, so after capturing some Soviet semi-automatic rifles and rather figuring out how they did it, the Germans proceeded to make their own.
Go ahead, sir.
So there we go, second Panzer Grenadier team ready, and they're having a rest. Yes indeed, a most heroic rest, which they're not supposed to have. No, wait, he's going for the Kampfgruppe company already. That's quite bold. Pioneers on the way, getting fired upon. Not good. Panzers moving in, and we are seeing an MG42 from Mr. F. Hauptmann F of the, well, Major F, I suppose, leading a battalion. Panzers running up on the Brits, hiding in the trench. But of course, they can fire right into the trench. So of course, the heavy car won't do anything there. That's why they pulled it deeper into the trench. For a bit of cover, then engineers and pioneers fighting here in the south. And we're not seeing anything from this truck as of yet. A second infantry section, but without any lieutenant tracks to support them. And we are seeing the reconnaissance section moving southwards. Kampfgruppe company almost ready. Panzer Grenadiers continuing their southwards march. MG42 moving in. Pioneers forced away mostly from the south. More riflemen moving in now. And this is really... And of course, that's one of the reasons a lot of allies actually love to go for this point. In fact, a lot of people love to go for this point because, again, it sort of have a dominating position. It controls, well, this munitions point, this victory point, this fuel point. It also pretty much controls access in terms of resources between these two areas. So, I mean, it's a really easy to defend point if you can first get it. So, in that sense, and of course, a lot of people like it. Of course, a lot of Brits like to pop down here as well with their trucks. Looks like he's got a Bren carrier for his infantry section. And looks like some reconnaissance chaps are sneaking about down there. Bren carrier sneaking past there, some Panzer Grenadiers. We are in fact seeing an infantry half-track on the way. We're seeing more MG42s on the way. Apparently this is a bit of a fortress battalion so far. Not much in terms of actual fighting infantry. That's a less good start there. Bren charging in, using the roads. Of course, vehicles move a lot faster on roads. Charging right at the MG. Panzer Grenadiers firing away. Trying to get into the bunker. Of course, the bunkers have changed a bit, so you can't actually fire to the sides or back. They're just sort of concrete to watch over here. So not really useful. Of course, they might be safe for a moment or two, but they'll soon be shot out. MG42 opening up on the Brits. Moving about here. Taking losses. Bren carrier trying to get out there. Infantry half-track ready. And looks like the Panzer Grenadiers take up position in the chapel there. And we are seeing Volksgrenadiers now coming out for F. Major F. While the Obersturmbannführer Latrodectus keeps firing away. Well, he will also be a sort of Major or Oberst. I'm not saying he's SS. We are seeing Volksgrenadiers moving in. Jeep moving in as well from my new account for a bit of disruption, reconnaissance, and just firing away. Panzer grenades inside the chapel need to get out of there. MG42 now getting hit from the rear by that Bren carry. Oh dear, he's forcing to MG42 seems to retreat, awfully wounded at the same time. Past some awful lot of riflemen. Oh, one MG team down. Oh dear, that's going to be a pretty heavy blow from the start. Oh, that's 500 manpower. Only some Volksgrenadiers left now, and a bike which... Oh, he's moving it in. Oh dear. And apparently he's already losing all hope. Bad sport right there. But there's an infantry half-track supporting the Volksgrenadiers. Panzer Grenadiers inside. Opening up. Rear MG not mounted on these half-tracks actually. And Latrodectus, like a good solid German officer, pointing out there's always a chance. They can win this, and of course he ensures that his opponent, his teammate, keeps fighting. And there we go. Confidence and unwavering zeal is the way forward. Bren carries rifle Northing, and of course look here, already heavy losses for the Americans in the trench, since they're able to fire right into the trench, and the heavy cover in this direction of course not providing him anything. Volksgrenadiers running into the trench. Ken Crouch sneaking about in the south, and another infantry half-track, more Panzer Grenadiers ready to be shipped to the front. Come on, swiftly, swiftly, Rückzug. Oh, not Rückzug, but Vorwärtsmänner in that case. And we are seeing another MG42 moving forwards. And there we go, rifleman team forced away. And headquarters truck moving in for that point, which is being currently fortified with a mortar emplacement. And oh dear, that's going to be a pretty huge blow. Kittymew with his lieutenant dead. And veterancy for the half-track, giving a bit of defensive veterancy, making it a bit tougher. That's certainly not a bad idea. Engineers getting gunned down by the half-track and its troops inside. Good move there. So a nice turnaround there, at least a stabilization of the situation. Of course, right here currently there's a lot of open territory. Nothing really there going on. Infantry half-track though immediately running into a Brenker and a Jeep pulling out. Mortar rounds also flying in. Ken crouching about doing harassment. Good, good. And let's go have a look at Fbrits and allies. We're going for the skirmish phase, which is rather what is needed. And he has suffered quite some losses. He only has a Volksgrenadier team and an MG42. Of course, he can reinforce near the infantry half-tracks, which is certainly not a bad idea. And reconnaissance section moving in for the Kittenkrat kill. Half-tracks moving out in a nice little offensive maneuver. Blasting their way. And opening up on some engineers. Could be causing them some heavy losses already suppressed. There we go. Oh, yes, indeed. Massacring an infantry team. Engineer team, in fact. Oh, dear, the Kittenkrat is in trouble, getting gunned down by the Vickers machine gun mounted Bren carrier. This is pretty bad. Of course, this could also turn out to be a problem for the half-tracks, of course, because armor-piercing rounds can quickly make short work of an infantry half-track. So has to be careful there. Very careful, in fact. Moving through here, and this is not really good light vehicle country. You know, lots of tank traps, lots of things making movement difficult. Not necessarily the best movement area, and of course, there we go. Vickers machine gun round AP, and there we go, just tearing through that infantry half-track. This is not looking good for the infantry half-track. Needs to get out of there, already down to half health. And Volksgrenadiers fighting up here with the MG42 and support rifle moving into chapel. Making things a bit difficult, and damaged engine. Oh dear, Latrodectus losing in a half-track so early. Then again, 7 minutes could be seen as a good mark. Needs to get out of there quickly. Mortar rounds and everything else. Falling shots ranging from above and from the side. And then last half-track also needs to get the bloody hell out of there. And F is fighting here a bit of a desperate fight. The Kampfgruppe barracks is now up. Grenadiers on the way. That's only going to help things a bit. But the MG42 is getting flanked. And the Volksgrenadiers are forced away. This is, again, a pretty grim situation for F. He's suffered some losses, but he's quickly remanning. And, of course, sending in some of the better troops he actually can muster. In the meanwhile, we are seeing probably another half-track on the way from Latrodectus. More Panzer Grenadiers. Half-track pulling away for perhaps some repairs. I at least hope that. And it is the veteran one, it's the one with the 6 kills, and of course also a reminder about the Panzer Elite. They share veterancy, of course. So again, that's also a nice sort of thing you can remember there. which also helps this half-track, of course, with its defensive veterancy. Going to help that keep about it alive a bit longer, plus it also moves faster. And looks, oh dear, my Newaccount could be losing a rifleman team right there. Goodness gracious. Airborne now having arrived. He's probably hoping to get some sort of light anti-tank assets with recoilless rifles and the likes. Volksgrenadiers MG42 moving in, half-track also there. Medics from my Newaccount. Kittymew so far seems a bit passive, having to retake what he's lost. Also including that lieutenant who got killed. And looks like he might actually also have lost an infantry section. Actually, that's a pretty good thing then. We are seeing Panzerschrecks actually. So that might not have been the infantry half-track right there. Now we are seeing a Logistik company coming up for Latrodectus. Interesting, but the kampfgruppe Latrodectus is still fighting on Panzer Grenadiers now with Panzerschrecks supporting the Volksgrenadiers and Grenadiers as they charge the trench position here, manned by the riflemen with BARs. Rather heavy infantry approach, of course, is being forced back. Although at the same time, good movement there in getting a medic station up, now laying down a machine gun emplacement to cover the trench as well. Has to be a bit careful, you know, don't go too heavily on the emplacements. We are seeing a casualty clearing station there as well, and a Vickers machine gun emplacement there. They're digging in, preparing of course for the German counterattack. Of course the Germans do need to be swift, but at the same time they should be careful not to dig in too hard. And there we go, machine gun emplacement ready. Volksgrenadiers getting shot up close. Grenadiers moving in. Panzerschreck on their emplacement. Grenadiers retreating, others getting suppressed. Half-track moving in, MG42 moving in. Leaving behind only the Panzer Grenadiers with the Panzerschreck to fire into the trench. Another shot rocket at the emplacement, but it's getting repaired and it's not going down. Mortar rounds flying as well from the emplacement in support. This could mean he has gone for Royal Canadian Artillery, which fits since he is, well, we're imagining it's the 1st Infantry Division from Canada, so good show there. Opening up there on the Pioneers, and of course using the Canadian artillery or this artillery doctrine to really get some increased length on his mortar emplacement, thus with supercharged rounds also being able to more or less cover this area. A bit nasty but certainly effective. And half-tracks once more ready. Getting crowd hanging about there, of course could be moved here. Lots of resources absolutely no one's thinking about. And apparently going for an upgrade there in the Logistik company. Could be increased squad sizes. Yes, indeed, increased squad sizes. Increasing the number. Oh dear, hit a mine. But he's finding and with a Panzerschreck in the half-track, but he needs to get out of there. He needs to get those half-tracks to safety and get them repaired. And we are seeing a 25-pounder going to red for Kittymew. Getting ready to use the beaches to blow onto the mainland. Panzer Grenadiers marching forwards. And I need reinforcements, there we go. No, wait, he's actually first going for supercharged rounds now. My mistake. And, oh dear, there's a huge clump of infantry. He needs to get out of there. And there we go. Rückzug. Half-tracks trying to maneuver out. And a direct hit on one of the half-tracks, blowing it to bits. And all the people inside it. Oh dear. And a Panzerschreck still secured by the Grenadiers, so it didn't fall into enemy hands. But that was quite a blow. A half-track and its passengers absolutely shattered. There's no survivors there. Not a single man can be put together by any medics. Interestingly enough, there's been absolutely no attempt by oh wait, there we go. Actually, there's a medic bunker. Never mind. Volksgrenadiers fighting here onto the reconnaissance section, sneaking about here, doing a bit of harassment on their own. No Kampfgruppe Central up for F as of yet. Half-track, the one that actually survived, not quite keen. Looks like it wasn't the one with veterans, in fact. So that was a bit of a larger blow there. Panzer Grenadiers moving forward so not to be deterred, securing northern victory point. But the central one could be retaken any moment soon. Infantry section, in fact, just got reformed. Good move. Volksgrenadiers keep fighting here. Medics pulling in the German wounded. So there seems to be a generally effective wound collection system, a wounded system of collecting casualties on all sides. So far, that's good. And we are seeing suppressive fire from the BRs as the airborne fight from the trenches, having poured in to secure the situation against the dreaded Kampfgruppe Latrodectus. In the meanwhile, lots of Panzer Grenadiers really doing their best to get this half-track looking all nice and pretty again, with some tank busters in it could look like. Yes, indeed. Moving it out once more. It looks like the Kenkrad is under fire here. Well, he's trying to do a bit of harassment up here, secure some further territory, some points, even a bit of manpower. And some Harassment by pioneers. Oh, very brave. Right in front of the Americans, who are now going for a triage center of their own to actually heal their troops. The Americans still lending a lot of infantry support. Looks like the half-track is up to something. The British commander is making a bit of a mistake here. He's really digging in, but at the same time, that's a bit his problem. He's rather using a lot of population, but of course also a lot of resources on this sort of digging in idea. Of course, he is getting a lot of artillery, so that can be nasty, but at the same time, it's also going to leave more of the pressure on the American commander. And there goes the cheek point secured. It looks like the half-track is moving in to clear out this area of British emplacements. Moving in with the half-track, though you might want to not stop up right in front of them with your lightly armored light Schützenpanzerwagens.
Just got the green light to employ creeping barrages.
And now we are seeing creeping barrages. Oh dear, medic blasted to bits by artillery. Grenadiers moving into the area. Oh dear, get away, Wigsuk. At least not there. Looks like the Americans are getting ready for another assault. Central victory point is secured. And looks like we are seeing more artillery just getting called in. And it's a creeping barrage. Oh dear, clearing out a machine gun. Oh dear, he has a mortar and a pack. He needs to get those out of there. Oh dear. That's actually a bit of a rare sight. You actually see a creeping barrage used. Oh dear, he's just hammering his way through everything, but he's thankfully not hitting so much, or at least thankful. That's the appreciation of the German commander right there. And it looks like a swift counterattack by the Americans did force away the mechanized forces of the Panzer Grenadiers in the north. Looks like a Panzerjäger command is now up. Could mean assault rifles, could mean armored cars and mortars, or just some seal for its infantry. Yes, indeed. That's it. And further fighting here from the Americans and airborne. Fighting away the Grenadiers, who are now getting a Kampfkraft center. That is good. Very good, mein Freund. And let's go have a look at my new account, who does have airborne. Of course, he has anti-tank guns ready, but so far no need for that. Lots of infantry, lots of airborne. Not so many engineers, though. And of course, another thing he might want to get is, of course, is a supply yard to sort of help with the upkeep, so he can get more manpower in the long run, plus veterancy. And we are seeing a German sniper now on the move. F has secured a bit of sniper support. A Bofors 40mm anti-aircraft gun opening up. Swedish made, used by quite a few sites. In fact, even by the Axis. The Finns, for example, the Hungarians and the Romanians used the Bofors. Quite effective AA gun. They even had a sort of Ostwind-like anti-aircraft tank, which I believe is called the Landswerk 2. And then the Hungarians made their own variant, which they called the Nimrod, which was a sort of prince of some sort. And there we go, large Panzer Grenadier force moving in against the riflemen, forcing those away. Half-track also moving in. Lots of Panzer tracks in that, apparently.
Sector being captured.
And now moving in for a swift counter-attack. Interestingly enough, this point is still Axis. And of course, here we go, a bit of a discussion there on what's going on, and Latrodectus is actually explaining his plan. That's great. And there we go, good assessment. They are far on the bottom. So right, come on more. He is investing heavily in placements. Yes, that means of course, what does it mean? Yes, less mobile units. That's the trick. And of course his teammate is just focusing on the artillery. And there we go, yes indeed, attacking the American base, thus cutting off the support, cutting off the mobile part, of course, which the British can't really support so well, is of course the best bet. Great assessment there, of course, and yes, now his teammate is in fact acting on it. Good coordination there, but of course, a good assessment right there by Latrodectus again, keeping everything together with a cool and calm mind. Panzer Grenadiers getting suppressed, though lots of suppressive fire from those BARs, good uses of that actually. We call this rifle fire. Panzer Grenadiers with Gewehr 43s. He could use some more anti-infantry weapons on his Panzer Grenadiers, perhaps some assault rifles or anything. And these chaps need to get out of there. They're getting... Oh, dear, that's too late. Yes, indeed, team lost. Satchel charges getting locked. No grenades, actually. That's a bit of a mess. And now we are seeing the Grenadiers. We are seeing the sniper moving in. Half-track, they'll need to get out of there. It's actually gotten veterancy. But it's too late. It's out of control. But now we are seeing... F moving in, counter-attacking with Grenadiers and Volksgrenadiers and the sniper, thus causing a huge rout for the Americans, causing them quite some losses. Panzer Grenadiers getting out of the half-track. moving forwards. And this emplacement is almost ready to go down. One Panzer Elite, and there we go. Machine gun emplacement is down. Open route to the American base is open, of course. And there's not much the other chap can actually do. Except, of course, do his best to fight. And he doesn't even have a strafing run to perhaps stop this huge wave of infantry. Heavy losses. Airborne getting shot up. Panzer Grenadiers, snipers, everything just continuing. Undaunted. Well, of course, the Brit is trying to push through in the center, but at the same time, he's a bit lacking. Oh dear, the mortar actually got cleared out. Could have been that creeping barrage. But he has secured the central victory point. Airborne, everything else taking heavy losses. Pushing onward, sniper just keeps having a shooting gallery day. Panzer checks on the headquarters. Heads are now moving in, calling upon the new shiny headsers. Apparently this Panzer Grenadier unit, under the command of Latrodectus, has been able to get a few of those. Joining in with that as well. Good as a light and assault gun, plus of course tank destroyer. Although assault gun sort of covered both dealing with tanks and infantry. There we go. Just finding away, killing, shooting. Of course giving the Americans a bit up on the back foot since they're suddenly facing armor. And they only have those very few airborne who are taking quite some losses. Actually, it's time for the mid-game analysis. And what is the current situation? Well, it's looking up. It's been a bit back and forth, you know, looking quite grim for the Axis in the beginning, but they've certainly turned around thanks to the able leadership of Latrodectus. And now they're going in for an assault on the American base, really pushing through there. And of course, rather realizing again, the Brit is a lot less mobile. He's rather sort of focused here. So the other bit is a lot more vulnerable. He's now going in with that pressing through. Of course, he is taking quite some losses in the process. And he does need more anti-infantry assets. He needs perhaps, you know, some assault rifles, perhaps more Gewehr 43s. His teammates just throwing in more grenadiers. He might want to consider getting up further beyond that. Perhaps the Sturmarmee, perhaps a Panzer Command, getting some panzers of his own would do well, but still, you know, pushing onwards and of course at least supporting his teammate in his offensive. That's good. At the same time also sort of keeping the Brits back here, who's now digging in towards the center. Again, he's really preparing, hoping to dig in, but at the same time he's not really reacting to the main issue, which is his teammate is getting blasted away. And of course other things Latrodectus might consider getting, of course, is, well, perhaps some Panthers in the long run. But let's return to the fight. Heads are firing away, sniper firing behind that. And now we're seeing a firestorm being called in. Doesn't do much damage, though. Still does a bit, but not quite as much as that munitions investment actually warranted, perhaps. But half-track moving in. Panzer Grenadiers hanging about. Not quite as much. Half-track gets... No, Hetzer gets a bit too close, though. Getting pelted by recoilless rifle fire infantry. Half-track in support. Ready to support, reinforce the Panzer Grenadiers at the front. Sniper continues, just keeps killing. Captain on the move as well. Oh yeah, he could be using a Victor target. Yes, indeed, he is victorying a target. Oh no, he's just calling in artillery, but... Actually, I mean, let's just... What is Victor? Target is an ability for an officer to basically direct all artillery under his command onto a single target. I mean, yes, he's calling in regular artillery here, of course, the one where the artillery doctrine allows, but at the same time, I mean, if he had used that, of course, he could have pretty much loaded a lot of artillery for absolutely no cost. And of course, also one other thing about the Victor target, it actually ignores the cooldown of the artillery. In fact, it means you can fire your artillery twice. So keep that in mind. It's actually a very useful little bit there, but quite a bit of trouble. And the Hetzer goes out of control. Hetzer is kaput. And looks like some Panzer Grenadiers could get sniped. Oh dear, if he does that... No, he's actually not sniping on retreat. That was a waste opportunity there by Kittymew. And we are seeing something being called in right in the midst of this. It could be airborne. No, he is in fact victorying target now, I think. Yes, indeed, he is victorying the target. Of course, note only one howitzer is fine because the other one is actually on overwatch. And the armor command truck simply getting pelted by Panzerschrecks. And now calling in more artillery. And the artillery is hitting Kittymew's own troops. That's not really what you want. Nearby structure getting blown to bits. Kettenkraut and a half-track trying to evacuate. Panzer Grenadiers nearby, but not doing much. Second Hetzer called in. Grenadiers moving forwards. Another sniper ready. No further veterancy on the way though, and half-track actually on the way for him. Penny being able to get some half-tracks out of the Panzer Grenadiers of Latrodectus. Grenadier is still moving about, apparently he's gotten a new one. But of course, here's another problem, of course, with the whole position down here. Of course, when he wants to call in something like, say, an armored command truck, it actually has to go through a very perilous route, because currently, again, he has nothing here, and that's currently where the axis of attack for Latrodectus towards the American base is. So that's quite a huge problem, quite painful, in fact. There we go, half-track on the move. And there we go, Fbrits and allies again, pessimistic, doesn't have the seal of the fatherland in himself. But again, Latrodectus, like the good commander and leader, he takes charge and says, yeah, we can. Now get moving, Helmut. Half-tracks, headsers, yes indeed. Looks like the exact same camo pattern right there, actually. Coincidence? Certainly a funny one. Panzer Grenadier snipers, everything else. Again, a bit lacking in anti-tank assets for Latrodectus, or anti-infantry assets. I mean, you know, assault rifles and such could be good. And once more, the armor command truck getting absolutely pelted. Half-track for some reason just moves into everything, taking heavy damage. That was a bit of a waste. You know, should be manned or at least upgraded with perhaps some flamethrowers or something. Half-track kaput. Panzer Grenadier still firing. Half-track heads up. More Grenadiers charging in. Could be lobbing grenades, and all of this concentrated infantry would be a good move. Lob grenades, don't just charge in there. Oh dear. Fbrits and allies, don't charge grenade. Stay at cover. But still, they're forcing away the allies. Good move there. Keep moving, keep up the pressure. And apparently there's a Brenker watching over everything with its Vickers machine gun. But you know, press. Keep attacking. Forwards, men. But at least the armor command truck is up, although not in a very good condition. As you might have noticed, it's on fire. And looks like an infantry assault going in there once more. The captain leading the way, ready to victory, and some more artillery. Roos, arty, spread. I'm not seeing any kangaroos. You might be, of course, talking about the armor command truck, but we actually don't know if there's kangaroos there. Infantry section getting shot up on the retreat. Artillery, oh dear, hitting the headser. But the rest actually admirably got out of the way. Will the assault continue? There's actually a recoilless rifle left behind there. Some of the Grenadiers could pick that up and use it against the armies. The Americans, on the other hand, doing a bit less well against the Krauts as they keep pushing against him. And of course, he's not getting an awful lot of support from his British comrade. Sniper opening up. Grenadiers slightly pulling back. And a strafing run which he just barely dodges. That was certainly nice. And let's go have a look at Latrodectus. Heads are in dire need of repairs. Panzer Grenadier is actually getting some assault rifles. Good. Others waiting up here on the ridge. Going to perhaps launch an ambush. They can certainly see the huge concentration of American infantry. And there we go, first wave. F sending in his Grenadiers. No anti-infantry from them. Panzer Grenadiers moving in. Heads are not in support. Half-track not either. And looks like the Brenko's opening up on the Panzer Grenadiers. Heavy machine gun crude and a mortar as well. Good use of the airborne abilities there. Quite a bit of manpower being floated though by Latrodectus. He could certainly use it. Call in some stuff. He's in fact getting mortar half-tracks. Could be useful. And looks like, yes indeed, no kangaroos. Instead, Kittymew has opted for the Cromwell. But looks like the assault on the American area has a bit lost steam. That's a bit tragic. In particular, looks like F is getting a bit once more cautious and pessimistic. And his base is actually this area completely undefended. That's not good either. But at least they're drawing in here. And now they are charging once more right into the Axis forces. The heads are blasting away. With machine gun and main gun Grenadiers fighting. Half-track firing in support. And another strafing run, in this case actually doing a lot more damage. Pack 38 blasting away at the Cromwell, which actually does not pull away. In fact, it moves right into the mess. Panzer Grenadiers are pulling slightly back to some other positions. We're seeing a bunker going up for F. The assault continuing. Panzer Grenadiers firing away with all glee. And certainly a good combination of increased squad sizes and of course the assault rifles upgrade and artillery moving in. Oh my goodness, just killing quite a few Americans. More artillery getting called in. And no, it's a bombing run. Almost knocking out the Hetzer and the half-track, but no, such luck for the Allies. Panzer Grenadiers though getting suppressed, need to retreat. Rückzug, oh, he lost an infantry unit like that just in a second. That was not quite intended. A bit hard to avoid. More artillery getting called in by the sniper. Good, good.
A friendly base is under attack.
And now they're bombarding the base of the infantry battalion in support of Latrodectus Panzer Grenadiers. Heads are out of control. Oh no. Bunker getting upgraded. Half-track getting repaired. Panzer Grenadiers moving in. Still floating a bit of resources. You could call in another head, so that would be a good move, I think. But he needs to break through here. Break through this slightly point here. And there we go. Incendiary rounds on the airborne. Bursting the mortar team into flames.
We have destroyed an enemy unit.
Forcing away the heavy machine gun as well. And we are seeing a medic bunker here. Good move there, of course, seeing this is the main spot of the fighting. Let's get a medic bunker up in there to take advantage of it. Good move. But no, the Brits are on the move. The Canadian, I suppose the Commonwealth. Moving in with 2 Cromwells and a command tank. Going after the base, and again more emplacement. He's just a bit too happy for us about his emplacements. Though he's not excessively using them either, I suppose, but still he's going rather heavy on them. And again, it doesn't really matter because again, they're going after here. And this could be the final move. 2 mortar half-tracks now actually firing in support. More Panzer Grenadiers on the way. And there we go, heavy machine gun exposed, unable to set up in time. Cleared out. Dead. Riflemen now getting shot up as well by assault rifles, infantry. Oh dear, heavy losses. Just incredible losses. Panzer Grenadiers charging forward, Sprenker firing on there. And another strafing run, but it doesn't... Actually, in this case, it does very little. Probably because the troops were already suppressed. Which means the strafing run does less damage. If you don't actually want to suppress troops before you send in a strafing run, you actually want the opposite. You don't want them suppressed. So fun fact there. And looks like the American headquarters could be going down any second now. Panzer 6 en masse. And there we go. In fact, the American commander is completely out of the game. He's completely been shattered. Yes, the Brits is there. But instead of actually supporting, he's now going for the German base. But of course, there's a second problem with his idea. And that's perhaps the one he hasn't quite thought about. All of his trucks are right behind here. Essentially, the American was the weak spot of this entire defensive line. And of course, now that it's shattered, all of the rear line right on the beaches is open. That means the trucks. That means the howitzers. That means his base right here, which isn't defending this direction. Heads are called in. Could be used to stop the Cromwells. Good, good. In the meanwhile, I think the... Oh, come on, Fraps. In the meanwhile, I think German commanders should pretty much just focus on tearing through this. And let's go return, of course. Kittymew is the only one really of attention. In fact, he's getting ready to call in some self-propelled, of course, artillery pieces, except, of course, that means that route. So he can't use it, really. Cromwell's tearing through the German base, the headquarters. Heads opening up on the command tank. And, of course, rather realistic, well, there's not much for his grenadiers to do except run into an ambush. So he just, again, continues through here. Good move. In the meanwhile, Latrodectus moves all of his mobile units to react to this problem. Meaning mortars, meaning Panzer-filled half-tracks. And the armor command truck is down.
German forces are trying to overrun one of our sectors.
And of course, again, the howitzers are quite exposed. Heads opening up on the Cromwells, hitting them from the rear. Oh, the head's getting hit by artillery. That's good. Lots of Panzer firing that truck, and of course, the sniper anytime might, of course, spot that rather exposed artillery position, that battery. And of course, he could move in some grenadiers to fix that.
Within one of our forward sections, they can execute
Come on. Come on, F. Howitzers. In the meanwhile, though, Latrodectus is still fighting, and of course, in fact, manages to pull it out. And wait a minute, did the Hetzer survive? It certainly looks almost surviving. In fact, from a certain angle, it sort of looks like its end has been blown off. Yes, indeed, they move away from the support tracks to focus on the priority target for now, the howitzers. And of course, quickly trying to move in what remains of the Cromwell to save the situation. Grenadiers getting blasted to bits. Oh dear, that's not good in front of the buffers. But there we go. Howitzers are in a lot of trouble.
NCOs reporting they have destroyed a German target.
And those grenadiers were killed. There we go. One howitzer is down. The grenadiers just continue with the Panzerschrecks. Only one of them picked up a BAR. Although not a lot of points left for the Axis, they're still continuing on. They have somewhat salvaged this. And looks like a King Tiger has been called in. Somehow it's been sent out to that island. In the Scheldt area, I suppose. Or Newaccount Island, I can't remember the name actually. But I know, hopefully people know what I mean. And a machine gun actually captured from the Germans, but it's getting cleared out by the sniper. Oh dear. And again, that's rather the problem with all those defences. It doesn't really leave them with much of a mobile force. They have a few sappers, some other chaps, but they are moving a bit too slow again and lacking again in officer support. Another infantry section on the way.
We have a secured sector under attack.
And Latrodectus just continue through the west again. America trying to put together this. Not doing too well. And the King Tiger just marches through what remains here of the British defences. And Sniper will just sniping away at the Brits, killing the not the captain, another Brit. Actually, the Sniper needs to be careful lest he becomes fodder for the Brits. There we go. Jerry Sniper found. Going to be given a good shooting by the boys. Actually, no, the Sniper looks like he actually might make it out of there right through the British base. Oh, the humiliation. No, actually he didn't survive. Just as he was about to, he was shot in the back. The King Tiger continues. A bit awfully unsupported. Airborne called in, but getting shot up as well. Not looking good at all. The American commander is more or less out of the game. 17-pounder gun opening up on the King Tiger. Of course, a quick attack from the side could sort it out. Although the Bofors perhaps needs to be cleared out. There we go. Mortar rounds on it. Panzerschrecks as well from the half track. Moving in. Cromwell's moving in for a bit of fun. Lots of offensive veterancy on those Panzerschrecks, making them more accurate. Bofors is down. Artillery called in on the Panzer Grenadiers. And once more, the King Tiger is on the move, on the prowl. And those Panzer Grenadiers might soon be on their way to the sky. No, they mostly survive. Grenadiers now moving in, opening up on the 17-pounder gun. This medic station almost down. In fact, it looks like some American troops have been put together by that, giving the American commander a bit to fight with. Veterancy 2 for the captain, actually, that's quite nice. And the 17-pounder gun is down, allowing the King Tiger to advance. If it so chooses. Oh wait, it's up there. Looks like things are utterly crumbling for the Allies. And now calling in another armoured command truck. Getting the speed upgrade so we can quickly move through hostile Jerry territory. And there we go, moving away slightly faster. Looks like the central victory point will be returning to the hands of the kampfgruppe Latrodectus. And a Jagdpanther has now been called in as well. That's only going to help the Axis. Now calling in a lieutenant, moving up what they can. Again, the American commander not leaving much use, and there we go. Another command truck is combusted. British moving in for the central victory point in the last mad dash. Getting hammered from all sides. Will they make it? Probably not. And there we go, my Newaccount rather realizing he has no way of actually making a dent on this. And the British commander also pulls out, leaving a victory for the kampfgruppe Latrodectus in the fight for that little island. So there we go. And of course, I do hope you enjoyed this little fight. And I'd certainly say Latrodectus unloaded for his magnificent efforts. He has earned himself an imaginary knight's cross with imaginary oak leaves. Yes, indeed. And of course, what can we learn from this? Well, of course, teamwork is essential. That was really what made the Axis really stand out here in comparison to the British allies. I mean, they were really able to work together. Of course, at the same time, do not sort of go heavy on the emplacement as Brits. I mean, you need some, but, you know, not so many either. You can't help your teammate when he's getting absolutely shattered far elsewhere. And of course, in this case, this was also a very good strategic assessment by Latrodectus, which rather led to the entire rear line and the artillery of the British getting completely crushed. So again, absolutely good maneuver here. And of course, also good, you know, moral support for his teammate to keep him in the game and not leaving. So really good on that. Hope you enjoyed it. If you did, why not subscribe or tell your friends? And if you didn't, well, why not send in a replay of your own? This is Imperial Dancing. Cheers.